Brandon with Rider Talk HQ. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more great content of me rambling on. I really wasn't enjoying what was going on with the camera looking back at me and the workflow, and was finding it super hard to do all that. So I ended up I got a chin mount basically for the old action camera. Threw it on the front of the helmet, and you know, here we go. The only thing I don't particularly care for is, you know, for me watching it, you know, looking at it, okay, if I was a viewer, is you're looking down here and I'm looking up here. But whatever. It is what it is. It works for hundreds of other people on YouTube. Why not for me? You know, subsequently, you know, the workflow has got to be easier. I still get to maintain the waterproof integrity of the camera because of, you know, the wireless transmitter that I can't get to work with my phone recording video, which means I'm going to have to use my Rode Wireless Me for that, which, you know, at the end of the day, I guess it's not the end of the world. This isn't set up yet. It'll be nice to have you know, still have some kind of looking back point of view. And I've still got the 360 camera to get some other looks with. Super excited about the dirt bike content, like you have no idea. I'm Brandon with Rider Talk HQ. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more great content of me rambling on. It's always a good time. But so yeah, just showing you the new point of view. I get wrapped up around my own axle, and, you know, like a weed whacker, and weeds that are too high, and it gets wrapped up around the spindle, and eventually it just stops going. Well, it's like that for me. So I gotta stop overthinking, thinking too much, worrying about what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna sound like, put the content out there. The people will come. I'm like Field of fucking Dreams here. How about it? Oh. Somebody done something. Or maybe just taking the dog out for a walk. It's hard telling with, you know, anytime you see a cop out of their car, it's like, oh, hey, something bad happened. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like normal shit that people with dogs do. And like, hey, my dog has to go potty, so we're gonna get out. Like, why can't it be that? Why can't that be our first thought? You know? Would it be so bad if it was? I'm still recording. My screen didn't shut off. I might have it set for longer than I think. But when you never shut up, man, it can seem like talking takes forever. Okay, so I said this in other footage that I've recorded, but I don't know where it is. And because of the whole wrapped around my own axle thing and not getting my shit together and actually posting content. But anyway, so moving on real quick. I test drove a 2024 Lowrider S with the 117, right? But the little tiny headlight, fairing, no saddlebags. And compared to this, like with this bike, I can push it around just by the handlebars, just by using my upper body weight. I can fling this bike like, woo, right? Enough to scare myself sometimes. That Lowrider S, to me, right, to this guy right here, had handled like you'd expect looking like at a bike like this too. Now, I don't know if this has got anything in the forks. I've never pulled anything out. I know it's got Olean suspension in the back. But this bike is snappy. Like, this handles like my Dyna did. The Lowrider S, on the other hand, was just really, even counter steering input, like the whole push, was like, it really, it didn't want to flick around, and I don't like that. I want an 800-pound bagger that handles like, a Ninja 400. Because, let's face it, these are never going to be super bikes, but I want to be able to, say something fell off this truck, I want to be able to respond quickly, or I'm following too closely and I'm like this and I can't see anything in front of this truck and they swerve. I want to be able to swerve too and get out of the way. On the Lowrider S, I didn't feel like I could do that. Now, it was stock. It didn't have any rise to the handlebars. And this, with the stock handlebars down here looking like a monkey, might handle the same way. Not gonna lie, never driven a touring bike that had stock handlebars of any variety, ever. A street glide, a road glide, road king. I've never ridden one with stock handlebars. Every single touring bike I've ever ridden had bars somewhere between 10 and 16 inches on it. These are 12s. So, my perspective might be a little skewed, but it didn't impress me, 100%. So, kind of takes that off the table. I like the styling of the Sport Glide better anyway, myself. Oh, what do we got today? Anything good? The old flea market? Imagine if I would have went with the 8.5-inch windshield and it was even taller. Would it even matter? Like, you'd still be looking through it either way. I know for me, this windshield is adequate. I could do with a little less of this noise, but if I close that top vent, it doesn't happen. So it's, it's definitely something to do with that. And because on my bell, on my other helmet, I had to keep my chin vent closed to prevent that from happening. Does it help with this? No. So I might as well keep some of that Venturi effect going with the air coming up there, the over the face shield. So, where are we off to today? I've got to go get a piston ring compressor to put the dirt bike back together and some gasket material to also put the dirt bike back together, because I'm an idiot, and because it's a Chonda, right? It's a Trailmaster TM33, and I don't give it enough credit, because I've got $1,000 in the bike plus another $80 in a carburetor, $70 in a carburetor, and an oil change and a spark plug. And it's some of the most childish fun I've had in a while. I got to go for an entire day riding with one of my sons up in the mountains on his dirt bike, and our other son, on four-wheelers riding with somebody else and stuff. And right, so I don't give the thing the respect it deserves as far as maintenance. So taking it apart to adjust the valves, I didn't realize that the rocker arms are attached to the valve cover. It's a clone of a CRF 230F engine mixed with a little XR 200 engine. And so when I took the head nuts off the studs, the cylinder studs, they took some grunt to get off. Like, I had to work, breaker bar and everything. So putting it back together, I was like, oh, I don't got to throw it down. I just, feed them on there until it don't feed no more. Well, I was wrong, right? Because it calls for 20 foot-pounds, and I bet I put, probably 60 on it, if not more. So as soon as I started the bike up and it warmed up, all the aluminum expanded to the point where it popped the fucking stud right off. Like, broke the stud right at the head. The top of the head. And then, chasing down parts for this thing and trying to get that sorted out, way less fun than you would think. So, yeah. Dealing with that nonsense. But so now I'm learning a lot about fixing the bike and what's going on, and definitely it changed my perspective on how to do things. So I've got to look into getting some kind of service manual, which luckily the KO K2 230 is essentially the same bike. I don't know if they just got a factory in China that burns these things out, and then they put all these different Apollo and X-Pro and Trailmaster and KO, like their entire product lineup all corresponds to something else, and there is a lot of models out there. And then there's some that are a little bit different, namely the Apollos, the SSRs, and another company called Vitachi, which they make a lot of four-wheelers and side-by-sides, and I think they kind of recently got in the dirt bike game. I don't know. But, yeah. So we're having a good time. Learning a lot about that. Needs a chain. I had to get new levers coming from China and all this other stuff. So it's something else. Jesus, I hope it's not gonna rain. I didn't even check the weather. Last time I looked, it was not gonna give me a temperature. No, that goddamn screw's gonna fall out again. Guess I gotta put some Loctite in it or something. While I'm thinking of it, on the subject of highway pegs, so these are the Kemimoto angled highway pegs that are made to go around crash bars, right? And I got the long ones, because why wouldn't you? I was wrong, and it's got to do with the ergonomics of a Harley. Maybe if I had an extended reach seat, it would be a little more appropriate, but I don't. I just have a custom stock seat with some material taken out in key areas to make it more comfortable for me, the rider. But yeah, definitely don't need the long angled. Like the short angled would have been better because my knee would have been a little more like that. So I've still got to make sense. These still work. You just got to angle them a little funny. But yeah, that one bolt right there, if you see it, keeps working out. I've tightened it up a couple times. So I got to put some Loctite on it. Oh, no, fuck walking. Walking's not for me. Problem I always run into using a bagger on the old lawnmowers, what do you do with the grass? Like when the bagger's full, what do you do with it? You end up with mountains of grass out in the woods that never goes anywhere. Wonderful city of Augusta, Maine, affectionately referred to as Disgusta. Bum, bum, bum. I don't even know if this thing has like a blinky light on it. Leave it to a public servant not to know how to drive on a friggin' rotary. See, as a motorcyclist and somebody that's seen the movie Final Destination, never like being behind something like that. Like, it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Oh, they got the docks out in Augusta. Where am I going? Okay, I gotta go to Walmart and I gotta go to, oh, I'm just gonna go to Harbor Freight and get one of their piston ring compressors, but. But you got to think that some of these people will legitimately practice for it. Like they've got to. There's no way. Driving through town ruins every single video I try to make. All I am now is angry. All right, so I'm leaving Walmart, and I kind of come to the conclusion I can't record or use footage when I'm riding through town because, oh, come on, I just get too angry, and that ain't no fun. Nobody wants to see that. It's like playing Call of Duty. So little extra spicy on the Kid Rock volume there. But anyway, so we're on the way home. It's a new view. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss the next amazing video of me talking in the inside of the beautiful 6.5-inch Clockworks windshield.